everyone, welcome back to our channel. If you're new here, please subscribe. I'd really love that if you're returning. How you doing? Well, you know me. Grab that coffee, right? Maybe a snack or two, possibly chocolate, and let's get into it, okay? So this subscriber, she got a hold of me and she said, I thought I would send you this info because I find it disturbing. My homeowner's insurance is AAA, you know, the Automobile Club of Southern California. And we have our home and vehicle insurance together for cost breaks. And we have had this insurance for over 25 years and never have they wanted interior pictures of our house. Exterior, yeah, okay. We received a letter telling us that our insurance company wants pictures of our home, which is their right due to some clause in their contract. I thought this was a scam, so I called and I asked to speak to an underwriter, and the lackey who answered said I could not speak to anyone but him. Well, that's not true. You know that, right? That's not true. He said they want pictures of every room, not just proof of smoke detectors in each room and hallway. They want to see if we have any upgrades to make sure we have the best coverage for our home. If they have no pictures of the interior of the house, how will they know of any upgrades? Permits. Did you have to draw any permits for anything? Over the past couple of years, did you have to draw permits for anything? Anyway, I mentioned this to my friend, and the first thing she said was, are they looking to see what you have, meaning preps? This could be, okay, you know how just the other day, I answered the phone and I said, if one more person calls and asks to buy my house because they saw it on Zillow, I'm going to flip out. I get these phone calls literally every single day, 3-4 times a day. So that could be another company's way of going about trying to see what's in your house, not prep wise, but because they're getting ready to start, buying people out from underneath their homes. That's just my opinion. Not saying, yep, this is exactly what's going to happen. Not saying that at all. This is just another way, okay? I know that delivery people are watching to see who gets what, with their deliveries. And I don't believe my insurance company knows that I have a room dedicated as a pantry. But unless I figure out where to move the stuff and hide it, they will find out. This is a small house and I have a lot of stuff. I'm disabled and require the help of my husband to do anything around the house. He's a fireman and has strange work hours. I am so angry that our insurance thinks that this is necessary. Thank goodness I haven't done some of the changes I plan on doing for upcoming events like water collection from our roof, which is illegal. And, best part, if we don't comply, they will drop us as customers. Guess who will be calling around for rates and terms from other companies? Yep, this girl. Yeah. Insurance companies, they're really, giving it to the customers, literally. When Sean and I switched insurance companies because we found a better deal, okay, we switched. It wasn't just because of a better deal. We switched because the rigmarole that, this other company was giving us, I was like, I can't, They wanted constant vet updates from our dogs, because a lot of homeowners insurance companies, they don't, they don't cover dog bites, and we had to literally prove through blood tests that none of our dogs were pits. And I'm like, not all pit bulls are bad. It's the upbringing of dogs that makes them aggressive or whatever the case may be, because I happen to love pit bulls, okay, and they are the most cuddly, snuggly dogs you'll ever meet, okay, and we literally had to go to our vet and have blood tests drawn on Ridley and Penelope and Little Miss to prove that they're not pits. And I'm like, take one look at little miss. You'll see that she's a border terrier / Cairn, CAIRN. She's 20 pounds. You're going to tell me that you think she's a pet? Okay. You know, and like with Ridley, like they almost did give me a problem with Ridley. Why? Because he's part red wolf. And I'm like, he's a hybrid, you know, but he's also mixed with shepherd and golden retriever. So they let me get away with him. But with Penelope, they said, oh, she's pit. And I said, no, she's not. She's black-mouthed cur. She's purebred black-mouthed cur. But yeah, they tried to give me, oh, yeah. 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 They will try and do whatever they can to mess with you in every which avenue they can. They really will. So, yeah. It's just the way that it is, hon. And, you know. So on to this. The subscriber said, since spring is here in Ohio as well as all over, I wanted to remind everyone to take advantage of the free food that grows wild for our taking and making use of. In my yard alone, I have purslane, and that's Purslane, daylilies, dandelions, plantain, fiddleheads, ramps, morels, chicory, and the list goes on, some of which I have relocated to grow in my gardens. I have a book that I take with me to help identify those plants that are either edibles or used for medicinal purposes when I do go on a scavenger hunt. And things that I once viewed as bothersome weeds now have new meaning and purpose and great benefit. In addition, wild edibles are packed with vitamins and nutrients, and they are free, which is always a good thing in my opinion. And find that which grow in your area. After all, every little bit helps, and it's an adventure to go hunting for them. Thank you, sweetheart. That's amazing information. That's great. Commercial break. Okay, so now on to this. Since its inception of 1990, the UN Food and Agricultural Organization, FAO, its food price index, has never been higher than it was in February, okay? And this complements the endless money printing and many decades of corrupt monetary policy. And the corrupt controlled media, right, MSM, you all know it as, however, is blaming Putin, and it is always does whenever the financial terrorists find themselves in another bind, right? He's always the one to be blamed. Now, food inflation is soaring, okay, around the world by about 12.6% monthly, okay? And at this point, and the only thing that the talking heads in the media are allowed to say is that it's ours fault for invading you. Yeah, but we know the truth. So never mind the fact that inflation has been on a steady upward trajectory for years. Or the fact that the government's Rona pandemic, tyranny, destroyed the supply chain. No, just make it, the other guy's fault. He's the punching bag, as usual. Shiny object. Over here, over here, over here. And according to the latest reports, prices of food commodities like grains and vegetable oils, they reached their highest level ever in February. And ABC News, they claimed that this is because of the invasion, right? And not because of central banks like the Federal Reserve, because you know how wonderful they are. Yeah. That they've been printing fiat currency like crazy over the past several years, okay? And the UN Food and Agricultural Organization said its food price index, which tracks monthly changes in international prices for a basket of commodities, averaged 159.3 points last month, up 12.6% from February. Okay. Now, a 17.1% rise in grain prices is also being blamed on the invasion. Okay, now, which has become something of a catch net, okay, for every bad thing that's been happening these days. Yeah. Now, this is remarkable. And clearly, these are very high prices for food, require urgent action, okay? And the worst hit commodity is oil, vegetable oil, okay? Oil of any kind, oil, right? And that rose 23.2% over the past month. Now, U is the world's leading exporter of sunflower oil, while R holds the second spot. So it's easy for the overlords to blame the conflict between the two as the culprit. Okay. Now, there is, of course, a massive supply disruption. And that massive supply disruption from the Black Sea region has fueled prices for vegetable oil. Now, you can't calculate specifically the exact degree to which this debacle, if you will, is causing these financial problems. And that logistical factors are also playing a role, as are poor weather conditions in some countries. Now, essentially, there are no exports through the Black Sea, and exports through the Baltics are practically also coming to an end. Now, a big red flag that points to financial tourism as enemy number one in all of this is the fact that globalists have been trying to crush decentralized cryptocurrency ever since the invasion, right? Claiming that he might try to evade banking sanctions if the cryptosphere is not quickly swept into the clutches of the existing financial paradigm. In other words, the globalist central bankers do not want people migrating away from their fiat currency Ponzi schemes and into crypto. So they're using Putin as their scapegoat to claim that crypto needs to be destroyed in order to keep everyone safe against the war or whatever. Now, the most depressing thing is that it's not bankers and politicians who, I expect them to be evil. Just like I expect cockroaches to be cockroaches. Yeah, it's the most depressing thing is the stupidity of some people who only think what their cell phones tell them to think, It's like some people I know that if it's on Facebook, it must be true, that type of thing, right? Just as the peasants supported the mandates. And these peasants now support tyranny because, right? So there's a lot to think about, right? And there's only so much that you can do in order to prepare for what's coming. And you know that as well as I do. So, world food prices, okay. Now, they jumped nearly 13% just in March to a new record high. Why? The invasion. And there, no matter what article you read, no matter what video you watch, it's all going to say the same. So I'm going to put everything that I see in the description box below for you guys, okay? But if you can still pick up grains, even sugar, okay, dairy prices, they're rising sharply as well, okay? Cereal supply. The demand estimates that the projection of world wheat production in 2022 is going to hit 784 million tons from 790 million tons last month. Okay. And it's factored in the possibility that at least 20% of the winter crop will not be harvested. And that's the crop over in the Big U. Okay. So when I tell you this stuff, and I find these articles and you guys send this stuff to me, I hope that you really think about it, and you stock up on flour, sugar, salt, even if you do the wheat berries because you have the grinders and stuff like that, because I think it's really important. Because pretty soon, this stuff just might not be available to us anymore. And that's really scary to even think about, okay? It's really scary to even think about. Just think, are your kids or your grandkids or your nieces and nephews, are they used to having a bowl of cereal in the morning? That might not be available soon. A bowl of cereal. Think about that. A bowl of cereal. Oatmeal. Cream of wheat. Anything that has oats, grain, anything might not be available soon. So stock up what you can stock up on. Because this is not looking good for any of us, no matter where you are in the world. It's not looking good. All right, guys, I'm out of here. I love you. I'll see you in the next one. You stay safe, you stay positive, you keep prepping. And as always, fearless.